very excited to be here and to speak on the topic that I will feel very, very passionate about, which is the people that change us. And before I take you down my memory lane, I want you to take a moment and think about one person in your life that changed you. So for the most people, it's most likely will be your parent, your friend, maybe a teacher, later in life, your partner, or if you're lucky enough, it would be your mentor. For me, whenever I think about this topic, the people that changed us, I always come back to the story of my high school tutor. So you see, I'm originally from Russia, and both of my parents are physicists by education, and so to no surprise to anyone, I was a very nerdy kid. In fact, I went to a specialty math and science school pretty much at the beginning of middle school. And I enjoyed my time there, and I done pretty well, up until what I think is equivalent to a junior year of high school here in the United States. And so something changed during that year. And one of the things that changed is that our teachers switched from what was school teachers to actually college professors. And in Russia, the situation with science and math is pretty much the same as in the United States. It's very heavily male-dominated. And it wasn't a surprise to anyone. In fact, it wasn't even questioned by anyone. However, there were other little things that really had a lasting impact on me. For example, I vividly remember that my math teacher during his class, sometimes he would come to us, and we were 3 girls sitting in the front row, diligently taking our notes, and he would look at us, and then he would look at the broader group of like 20-something students, and he would say, "Only girls do this kind of mistakes." And he would refer to some sort of mistakes that someone did in their homework or other assignment. And so that makes you pause, right? But at that time, I was no female empowerment advocate. I didn't stand up and start pounding the table and saying that you're wrong, this is not right. In fact, his words didn't even make me sad. They didn't make me mad. What I did, along with the other people in the class, I laughed at what was perceived as a very decent joke. And so what that little things kind of came up to is that I started letting it go. I decided that I shouldn't try any harder. So my participation went down, my grades went down, I started skipping school and became disinterested in everything. I think my lowest point was when at the end of that year I completely failed my physics exam, and again, I just didn't care. I just went on with my day. And so my parents definitely saw the change in me, and they were not happy about it. And my mom, instead of like grounding me and telling me you don't get to hang out with your friends and go to your room and study, what she did for the following year, she found me a tutor. Her name was Irina Vladimirovna, and the deal was I would go to her house twice a week, and hopefully she would help me improve my grades. But she done so much more than that. Her passion in explaining me science and math was so contagious that we literally started spending twice as much time solving different problems than what we originally planned for. And her desire to show me that I can do so much better than I thought I could do was so strong that I started believing in myself again. I started digging in very deep, and I started reading extracurricular books and other extracurricular activities. So through the year, basically from the bottom of my class, I went up to the top of my class, and I got accepted to every single college I've ever dreamed of being accepted in. And so the years went by, and I graduated from college. I came here, I went to grad school, and I got my amazing job at First Solar that I love very much. And basically all my wishes came true. And what I decided at that point that I want to do the same thing for someone else. I want to change someone's life. So what I've done, I signed up with this program here in the Bay Area. Unfortunately, I can show you the full picture for confidentiality reasons, but I signed up with a program called Be a Mentor. They pair up the disadvantaged youth with adults who are willing to commit to 1-year program and meet with their mentee every week or every other week and kind of helping be on track with their studies or provide general support in often very hectic environment they live in. And so when I was signing up for this program, I had all of the self-doubts like everyone would have. I would tell myself, I'm very young, I have nothing to share. I'm boring, he wouldn't like me. And I don't have time or energy to do it because of my job and other things. But I still decided I want to sign up. And it was a very different experience from what I imagined. In fact, I got paired up with this very bright little boy, and he loved every second of our meetings. I would take him to different museums around Bay Area, science fairs, or we would simply sit in a coffee shop and kind of chat about his week. But one thing that we did that I think transformed kind of his view of the world is we went to the library. And again, it could be a hit or miss, right? In my mind, I was like, well, let's go to the library, maybe pick up a book or two, and most kids like boring. But instead, he started reading 2 or 3 books a week. He read the whole Harry Potter series in under a month. By the end of that school year, I literally had trouble finding him new books to read. I had to research every week, like where the books are available, the ones that he wanted to read. And what happened at the end of that school year, his teachers, based on his academic performance, basically decided that he's ready to skip not only 1, but 2 grades. Wow. He basically got transferred from 4th grade straight to the 7th grade. And when I heard that news from him, and he just mentioned that to me, I like 12-year-olds, oh yeah, my teachers tell me. And I'm like, what? How did that happen? So that was one of the most fulfilling moments for me in my entire life. If someone asked me what are the top 5 things that I've done, this is for sure one of those. And so why do I think it is important for me to share these stories with you today? I think today, in the business environment, we often hear talks about mentorship, right? And usually how this story goes is someone recommends you to find a mentor. But we often, in fact, most of the time, forget about the other important piece of the puzzle. We very, very rarely ask people about their mentees. And when I think about why does that happen, I think it's because there is this stigma, this aura around mentors that they're almost like superhumans, right? They should be like very well accomplished, very well connected. They should have answers to all your questions, and they should open all the doors pretty much for you, right? And so if you score that mentor, you got a jackpot. But if you think back to the beginning of this conversation about that one person that changed you, that profoundly changed you, none of these 4 qualities are probably the reason why it happened. They might have possessed some of those, but that is not why. The reason why people change other people is because they connect with them through here and not through here. They share their passion with you. They care about you. They devote time to you. And they believe in you a tiny little bit more than you believe in yourself. And that allows you to believe in yourself back. And so what that means to me is that basically right now I'm looking at the room full of mentors. And what I want to leave you with today is just one question. Who is your mentee? Thank you very much.